were left looking for gears. They would press on to the finish regardless.
Jan, for the umpteenth time this year, you're involved in a hell of a dive, but this one is especially tight, isn't it?
You know, as I said earlier today, I don't know why I have to work so hard for the championship. Well, yeah, we're slogging away, but the pace is very, very tough. The guys that push it and forth on the road seems to be the right place. I think, you know, the front few cars are cleaning the road and sweeping it, and the guys further down are getting the hard surface. So, you know, we're going as hard as we can, as hard as the car can go, and that's all we can do. So real hairy lines into the field and back onto the road. So, you know, we're trying hard. That's all we can do.
Said you had a lot of drama last night with the dust, but it looks like this morning you're on a serious comeback trial.
Yeah, it's very close at the moment, and I think the three of us really are pushing quite hard, so makes it interesting.
And the roads, from what I've seen, has been very good this morning. You know, it's not rough and mostly smooth.
Very good roads, very fast. We don't realize how fast this area is, but it's very quick.
Halfway through the second day, and I think it's as tight as it's going to be, ever. But the big movers seem to have been you all day.
Well, we had to, Sorrel. We woke up and we were a bit under pressure this morning, 48 seconds behind Habik, so we've tried to make the most of it. And luckily the stages are quite long, so if you concentrate and you can make a bit of time over them. There's one long one left, and then the day's coming to an end, so, you know, we have to keep the pressure on now.
From what I've seen, it seems quite smooth for a change, and that's conducive to high-speed racing, isn't it?
It's some very fast stuff. We've been living in 6 gears over the blind rises and on the limiter, on the downhill. So yeah, no, it's a very high-speed event, and you get these narrow little cattle grids with a slight sweep left in it. So you have to keep the car really straight through it, because it won't fit through there sideways. But then on the other side, it takes you half a kilometer to sort out your problem.
The long 8th stage was expected to prove critical to the overall results. Listening to the 2-litre Class A8 Golf at high speed was like music to the ears of any car aficionado, while Habik's total commitment in throwing the car into every corner was sheer poetry in motion. He knew the importance of the stage, and his fighting spirit saw him finish a close second fastest in the test. Damso was no less committed. Just watch as he hits the water splash undaunted at full speed. Familiar with winning a lot more than he has done this year, he was arguably the hungriest out there for the win, wanting to at least salvage something out of a poor season. On board in the Toyota, we can see the speed carried on these roads. Watch also for Damso overshooting at a tight right-hander and then taking some more of the farmer's fence with him as he rejoins the road. Many of those behind would follow his unorthodox route. Despite the excursion, he beat Habik's time by 2 seconds and now shared the lead with the Golf. Keane was suffering from engine problems. The team had to retard the engine's timing significantly, robbing the car of power. It did not affect Keane's motivation at the water splash, however. But it would prove costly in terms of time, as he lost 10 seconds to Habik and 12 to Damso. He was now once again 16 seconds behind the co-leaders. A disconsolate Rueda walked out of the stage, signaling that his Mitsubishi had broken a transfer box meters into the test. In Class A7, the rally had turned in Fecken's favour at this point. His committed driving saw him take another 9 seconds off Lawrence in the stage, and he now led the class by 50 seconds. But at that pace, would it last? The onboard camera showed us how he found some of his speed in the stage, and also noted the spectators and local farmers on the roof taking the safe watching option. Lawrence was not about to give up his title ambitions without a fight. He knew a class win was crucial to his championship hopes, and he was determined to achieve his goal. He tackled the water splash at full speed, but water crept into the electrics and the Toyota lost more time with a misfire before eventually clearing itself. Damso and Vermeulen were on top form despite this missed gear. They were still unbeaten in class in every stage and were simply extending their lead as they reeled off the kilometers. Van der Walt was enduring a tough rally. His problems would not disappear and he lost another 4 minutes in this stage with a misfire amongst other problems. He would not give up though and pressed on as fast as the car would allow. Now leading Group N with the demise of Rueda and Botha, Burger and Swanepoel were eyeing a potential podium place. Driving more aggressively than what we've seen this year, they were on the boil and were up into 5th place. Note how Burger prepares for the water splash by activating the Subaru's windscreen wipers well in advance of the splash, which the Subaru bounces over and literally flies out of. Coming off a successful mountain trial last month that put him level on points with class rival Damso Jr., Trott was full of confidence and driving well. He could not match local man Damso's pace, but was pushing hard, hoping to pick up the pieces should the leader run into any trouble. Coleman and Koch were still chasing a top 10 place and gave our cameraman a scare as they ran wide in the riverbed. They were still holding 4th in Class A7, but with Van der Walt suffering numerous problems, they were sniffing a possible class podium finish. Sanders and Gericke had driven consistently all year to lead the Class N2 championship. With title rivals Bem and Sinclair out of the event, there was no need to take any chances, despite an attack on their event lead by Venter and Johnson. Tasaki and Swan were in a similar position to Sanders and Gericke. With their title rivals out of the event and a healthy class lead, they could take it relatively easy to the end. However, there were no such luxuries for Botha and Gericke. They were still making up places at a brisk pace and using all the road in the process. With Rueda out of the event, a good result might have put them in contention for the overall Class N4 title at the end of the year. Locals Wessel Venter and Patrick Johnson put in a strong performance in their Harkers Automotive Toyota Corolla. They chased class leaders Sanders and Gericke all the way to eventually finish just 60 clicks of the watch behind. Chris de Wit and Shane Sabel had put in giant-killing performances throughout the year in their old-class A6 CTH Transport Toyota Conquest, and this event was no different. They plugged away at a brisk pace throughout the rally to eventually record yet another top 10 finish, well ahead of newer and faster machinery. Following a few lessons at the Corvus Rus Rally School, V8 track racer Gugu Zulu was performing much better in the Sasol City Golf. Teamed with regular navigator Dave McGregor, the pair finished in a very competitive 2nd place in Class A5. Patrick Gehring and Manny Hertz held on to take the Castrol Media Challenge win in their drive Ville Paz from Steve Mearns and Tiara Noonan in the Cars in Action entry. Further down the field, lady driver Lola Verloc was getting to terms with a new Subaru 4-wheel drive. Teamed with Greg Gericke for this event, they put in a very solid performance too.
Lola, your first time out in a new Subaru, how's it going?
It's very different to my old car. I had a front-wheel drive, so the 4-wheel drive is much heavier and the power is unbelievable, so it's a bit scary, but I think I'll get used to it. We're getting better as the day goes on, so.
Is it difficult to drive or easier or?
Because there are a lot of gates and drifts here, so you have to get into the corner and go through easier, but it's heavy, so it's hard. You brake slower and come out quicker, so it's difficult. For now, it's difficult.
With 2/3 of the rally behind them, stage 9 was the last lengthy stage with a distance of